Welcome to recording and constructing a program at home, and this is part 1, voice recording. As you can see here, the equipment required is fairly simple: computer of some sort, a microphone, and software for recording and editing and playlist creation. The computer you use doesn't have to be a high specification, but I advise you need at least 2 USB slots. Here I've listed various microphones, but I would recommend a USB mic, or if you're using an XLR, make sure it's a dynamic mic and you can use an XLR to USB cable. It saves having to use an interface or a mixer then. You may wish to use a mixer if, for instance, you have music on a separate device that you want to record, or an interface you can use for if you want more than one microphone. But as I say, I would recommend just using a USB mic or USB cable. While we're on here, the Behringer Xenix Q802S is basically what I used. This is an updated version of it, and that's what I used with a dynamic microphone when I first started. Here you can see the software required is all free. Audacity, which is a fairly common waveform editor, but plus the OpenVino AI effects. There are new versions of Audacity normally ask if you want to install that. And for playlist creation, Virtual DJ. This is just taking you through where to get Audacity and how to install it. This is just continuing the installation of Audacity. Further info on Audacity installation. And continuing Audacity installation. This shows you where to obtain OpenVino effects, and you just follow the instructions to install it. That's assuming you didn't install it already when you installed Audacity. Now here we talk about the conditions for recording. You can also try recording in a wardrobe. Basically open the doors of the wardrobe, put your microphone in amongst the clothes, and that deadens some of the sound. So it's creating basically a recording studio. But also see my acoustic box on the next slide. This is what I used for many years. It's a collapsible box which you can get from IKEA, as illustrated here. It's a fabric box. Basically you open it all up and you install acoustic foam inside. If you just Google, there's loads of suppliers you can obtain it from, and you just cut it to fit and place it inside. and then you also put in a little desk stand to hold your microphone, or I have seen some people make up a suspension unit basically coming off the corners of the box and holding a microphone. But I think it's easier with a little desktop stand, put your microphone on, and don't forget to put a pop filter on the front. Now all you have to do is plug in your computer, open up Audacity, and the following video will tell you what to do next. First thing to do in Audacity is check that we've got the right mic selected. Go to Audio Setup, Recording Device, and make sure you've got the right microphone selected. Then click on the microphone icon, enable silent filtering, and you can just adjust the level recording by moving this slider. USB mics are notoriously quiet, so you really want it up full. You can then start your recording by pressing the record button, and as you talk you can see waveform appearing. When you finish, stop the recording, select all by double clicking on the waveform, and go to volume and compression and use loud normalization. That's what I recommend. And set that to -14 LUFS. That's the right level for radio, podcast and YouTube, etc. Then you click on apply and you see your volumes adjusted. Now look for a blank period. It's good to leave a space at the beginning and end of your videos for this. You select that and then go to Effects, Noise Reduction, select Noise Reduction, Get Noise Profile, and that uses the bit you've selected for Noise Profile. You then select the whole waveform, go Effect, Noise Reduction, and leave those as they are. And just go OK. There is a better way of doing noise reduction. If you go up Effect and come down to Open Vino Effects, you may have to install the Open Vino noise suppression. Let's see my link in the slide for that. And then you select Open Vino Noise Suppression. And just click Apply. So it's just one-step process where the previous method was two-step process. And there, that's done that for you. Now we go for the EQ settings. You only need to use it really if you're not happy with the sound microphone, think you can improve it. So go to EQ and filters, select graphic EQ, and then in the presets and setting, click that, go to presets and select bass boost. Now click apply. And really we want the booster treble, so to Effect, EQ and then graphic EQ. Again, go to your presets, factory preset, this time treble boost, and click apply. Now what we want to do is compression. So volume and compression, set compression, select preset settings, again factory presets, and if you scroll down you will see one podcast and radio. Click and then click apply. And then we go back to effects. And we do our loudness normalization again. Again 14 LUFS, apply. On the scale I alter it so that you can see each second separately. So each of those markers on the scale should represent a second. This makes it easier for the next stage, and you really want there to be about a quarter of a second at the beginning and a quarter second at the end. This allows enough for the waveform to be activated properly. And on this one the end is actually 0. I should have really left a bit there so we could trim that as well. Once that's done, you can play it, have a listen, make sure it's okay, and it's all okay. And go to File, Export Audio, give the file a name, and suggest saving it as a WAV instead of MP3. Put the correct name in. I'll just call it on trial. Make sure you've got the right place selected you want to save it to. In this case, I'll just select the desktop. And make sure you've got the entire projected. Okay, so entire project and then export. And that will export it into the file and it should be in the place you've saved it to. And then you can close Audacity, then repeat the process for any other audio files you've got to do. If you followed the instructions in the video, you will now have a recording of your first vocal track. You need to repeat this for any other tracks that you've got in your program's script until you've recorded all of them. In the next part of this series, I will show you how to use your recorded audio and put it with music and jingles, etc., creating a program in Virtual DJ.